how to keep your wallet closed when you want it to be closed, and making that shift towards more intentionality when purchasing new things, so you don't end up buying things you don't need. I'm going to teach you how to do that in this video. Minimalists buy new things occasionally, I buy things occasionally, nothing wrong with that. But when people find themselves spending money on stuff they don't need, thinking that getting those new clothes or fancy phone or fancy car even is going to help them think better about themselves or change other people's opinions of them, they might be attaching their happiness, self-worth, and feeling of success on the things they own. When in fact you probably have everything you need in order to be happy and confident. So here come 8 tips to help you avoid buying things you don't need. Okay, so let's get a little sciencey. As it turns out, the decision that we make to buy something or not triggers all kinds of different regions in our brain, and they have a little battle, and ultimately the winner decides if we buy something or not. It's a balance between the expected reward of the item, the expected pain of paying for it, and the expected pleasure of getting a good deal. But what happens when we do decide to buy something? Well, we experience a short-term happiness, but this feeling of happiness is limited. We don't feel more happiness after buying a $500 sweater than after buying a $100 sweater. If this was the case, then money could actually buy happiness, which we now know it can't. And this feeling of happiness is not only limited in size, but also in time. Because that great feeling you get when you're wearing a sweater for the first time, your new sweater, it will not last. And after about 5 uses, we get completely used to it. If our brains didn't adjust like this, we would get super excited about all our items all the time, and it would be really exhausting. So when this feeling declines, our brain releases dopamine every time we even think about perhaps buying something new, and when we do, we experience that same short-term happiness. So it's a cycle that way. Now, all this information is nice, but it can also help us, because understanding these processes can help you to realize that you don't need to buy something new every time, because you know it's only going to last a short while. And you know you don't need to buy that $100 item, because getting the $50 item will make you feel exactly the same. So you can focus on getting the best price-quality ratio. So next up is the 5-second rule. Whenever you find yourself looking at an item in a store or watching someone else's clothes or phone or a big house even, and you find yourself wishing you had that, try to take 5 seconds. After this short time to come back to reality, either don't buy it if it's something you see in a store, or if it's something you see someone else having, just realize that you don't need to have that too. Show yourself some compassion for not having something like that, and realize it's not very important, and be grateful for where you're at in your life. Let your home tell you what to buy. Instead of getting tempted by things you see in commercials or on Instagram or by the latest trends, just listen to what your home tells you. If you don't really have good socks anymore, buy socks. And if you're going out to buy socks, only buy socks. It's really weird when you say socks that many times. So this may sound really easy, but it can also be kind of tricky, especially in the beginning, because we see so many things that we can also buy, especially if you're going to the mall. So make it as easy for yourself as possible. Unsubscribe from newsletters and catalogs. Don't go into sales, disable one-click ordering, or even only taking a certain amount of cash with you when you go shopping, and just leaving your cards at home. When you want to buy something new, take a short second to take a look into what you already own. Is there maybe something like that or kind of like that you can use? Or if it's something that you're only going to use once, is there some way that you could maybe rent it or borrow it? I'm going to show you something that is truly minimalism in practice in our house. So whenever we have something like vegan gravy or sauce with our dinner, which is only every so often, we don't have a gravy boat or a sauce spoon or anything like that, because I don't want to buy it because we hardly ever use it. So whenever we do have something like that, we just use this soup ladle, which is obviously way too big for sauce, but hey, it works, and this way I don't have to buy yet another thing for sauce. So it can be little things like that. This may sound counterintuitive, but it really works for me. Keep a wish list. I have wish lists for everything, basically, from my wardrobe to my home, or even for this channel, and I'll explain why it's so effective. So when you write things down first, you immediately stop buying things on impulse, which will make the biggest difference. It also really forces you to take some time to think about it. Do I really want this? Do I really need this? Or is there some other way that I can go about this? And lastly, it helps you to feel less bad or guilty if you experience something like that when you do buy it, because you thought about it and it's okay. It's the best way I can think of to be more intentional with your shopping. And I also use this list for when people ask me what I want for my birthday or for the holidays, or just for waiting with an item until I can find it on sale somewhere. Number 6, decluttering. Owning less will make you want to buy less, which sounds totally weird, but it's actually true. Because when you own lots of stuff, it's kind of hard to see everything that you own, and you tend to think that you don't have anything to wear if your closet is chock full of stuff. You might even buy some things new that you already have lying around somewhere, you just didn't know you had it. So this one is not for the faint of heart. Tracking your spending can be really a big eye-opener, and I do this for about a month. Every once in a while I track everything that I spend and I take a look at it. I always find some things that really surprise me, and it helps me to rein in my spending by understanding where my money goes. I'm curious, have you ever tried this? Let me know in the comments. Only shop when you're feeling good. I can't even remember all the times I bought something new just because I was feeling tired or blue or hungry or insecure, and buying something new will not be the answer. Now I find relief in other things that actually contribute to my happiness, like taking some time for myself, cooking a healthy, delicious meal, meditating, or even just lying on the couch with a feel-good movie. As always, thank you for watching, thanks for subscribing, and share your favorite tip with me and the others in the comments down below. I'll see you soon.